Welcome to Studio Sessions. Presented by Arts Access Florida and Jazz at WUSF, we bring local musicians into our studio where they perform short, intimate live sets. I'm Warren Buchholz, Jazz brand manager and curator. On today's episode, I feature the Craig Brenner Trio with...
I'm Mike Baker, I play drums.
I'm Craig Brenner, piano.
John Huber, acoustic bass.
They perform 4 songs. I hope you enjoy.
We're going to start off playing the Bloomington Breakdown. The second song that we're going to play is Life is Precious.
What messages or emotions do you hope people take away when they listen to you play your music?
Well, my music is based on things that I've felt and experienced, and often, sometimes they're happy and sometimes they're sad. So the songs are, or the tunes are sort of crafted to express those feelings. Life is Precious was originally entitled You Won't Hear It Again, but I play often in senior residences and nursing homes and things like that. And I felt awkward telling a 98-year-old that you won't hear this again, because I ended up going home thinking that's not a good way to leave a person who's in a nursing home by themselves. So I changed it to Life is Precious because I realized that I was doing a lot of the playing for my mother as she was in that situation, and I realized how precious every moment was, and that's the tune. But then the Bloomington Breakdown, on the other hand, is more of an upbeat, happy experience.
I would hope that people get the same kind of enjoyment that I get out of playing it. And, everyone's own interpretation, when they hear, especially instrumental music, there's you put your own interpretation on it, but I view it as, just a break from everyday life and a way to relax and kind of, get your mind in the right place and just find some kind of enjoyment.
Yeah, I think my enjoyment comes as we play together as a group, just listening to each other and trying to find those little I don't know, I guess I call them micro grooves, where somebody's doing something and you're like, oh, okay, you want to push this one a little bit, you want to lay this one back a little bit, and just the art of listening and playing as a group, man. That's a lot of fun with these cats.
I met John first when we both resided in Bloomington, Indiana, and he was a bass instructor and a performer who taught my youngest son, Nate Brenner, who's now a professional musician on his own, whose main instrument is bass, largely because of John. And then I realized after I had moved down here that John lived in Florida also, and so we got together then. Mike, on the other hand, is related to me because I'm married to his sister, and he's my brother-in-law. So we've played together off and on since Lori and I were married, so it's been over 17 years. Third song, it's called Some Sexy Blues Right Here, Y'all, or something like that.
You said you write your own songs. Can you walk us through your process?
Well, I'd like to, but I don't really know because every song's different. And some songs, which now have lyrics, started off as purely instrumental songs. And then the more I listened to them and they had a rhythm to them, I was able to come up with lyrics that reflected what I was trying to do musically. But then that's only maybe 10% of my stuff because most of my things are instrumental. And a lot of times I'll start at the piano because that's my main instrument. And I'll play something that I feel comfortable with and build a song around a series of chords or a rhythm or a melody that I come up with. So it just varies from piece to piece, basically. And then also I get inspiration a lot from other really good recording artists in different genres. And so that's a different story though, because like I love a lot of blues and boogie-woogie piano players. And so a lot of one of the pieces that we played today is based on the inspiration from those people.
Why piano? What drives you to want to play piano?
Well, I believe in my case, I was born into a home where my mother played piano, and it wasn't just a regular upright, it was a player piano. So not only was I able to hear her play, but I was also able to use the mechanism and drive some piano rolls. And I was just fascinated by how the notes would go down on their own, of course. Then I realized that somebody had played those and they made a recording out of that. So she took me to lessons when I was in the first grade, and I've been playing it ever since.
Let's continue with the whys. Why jazz?
I started off playing all the classical stuff, like most people who play piano, Bach, Mozart, Chopin, Beethoven. And I went through music schools a couple times and realized that I was having to stick to somebody else's idea of what they wanted to express, basically. And so it was when I was in my third year at Indiana University that I first attended the New Orleans Jazz Fest. And that particular year was full of piano players that were just wonderful. Most of them are no longer with us, but I just took it all in and then realized that I was too limited in my focus of just trying to be a classical piano player. And then I realized that, many people who rely on music, many people who play jazz don't even need music. They know it all theoretically, but they don't even need to read. They use their ears. And so that's one of the things that I started to develop after I had already gotten some technique on the piano was my ears. And jazz is a big part of that.
I probably didn't start playing jazz until I was, in college, and that kind of stuff. And so learned a lot from studying jazz. But I think the main thing is that, improvisational nature, John, you were talking about it a little bit, just when you find it's a little bit of an interplay, when you between musicians and with the audience and with everything else. And so, I think that's a big part of why I appreciate jazz and playing jazz and listening to, that particular type of music, maybe the most. I like to play all kinds of music, but and I do respect it as that it's a unique American art form, and I think it's important to listen to it and appreciate jazz like that.
You three play really well together. How do you find getting on the same wavelength as one another when you're playing? How do you know when you three are like in tandem with one another?
Usually the cats are really happy, so no, seriously, I think everybody here is like pretty upbeat and pretty positive. So even if we feel like we didn't have our best go at it, like our personal best go at it, everybody else is cool with it, and you just kind of like bounce around until you find the next great thing. So I think Craig's songs are so well written that gives you the opportunity to express yourself and to have some freedoms, and yet it's composed enough and together enough that it gives you a lot of direction. So it's fun as a player. You feel like you can kind of dig in and go some places. So Yeah, but for me, I think the attitude is just kind of happy. And when everybody's happy and just kind of lets it roll, it happens.
Let me say something about this. One of the things that I appreciate about both these guys is they listen to music. They don't just play it. I mean, they listen to everything. And so as the person who wrote the songs, I felt really confident that just by them listening to it, they would be able to play it. And they did. I mean, there's no beating around the bush, you know. Some people, they say, let me try this, and they can't do it. So that it's really important that you use your ears, I guess is what I'm saying. And they do.
What is the top tip you would give newer musicians starting out that you wish you knew when you first started that would have made your life easier?
Listen. Listen more than you play.
My one tip is to listen to everything in every style and have some kind of a device that you can play things through 24 hours a day if necessary.
Oh, yeah. I have to kind of agree with the fellas. I would say, listen to everything and try to play everything. Don't limit yourself to one thing, and, be diligent in your practice. Whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
I can't emphasize that enough because I've seen some piano players who are completely blind and they play better than you would think because their ears are driving them. So music is a language, and it's not one that you learn through reading any more than you learn to speak through reading at first. You learn from your parents and your home life, and you repeat what you hear. So that's the same with music. The more you hear, the more you're able to repeat, and then you can develop your own music. I have a website. It's craigbrenner.com, and it has my music as well as my bands and my upcoming performances and a bio, and Mike's on some of the stuff that I recorded. And then the fourth song is called You.
Studio Sessions is a product of WUSF and is sponsored by Community Foundation Tampa Bay with support from the Gobioff Foundation and from you. Thank you for your support. Today's audio was recorded by Jackson Harp, edited by Scott Walkler, production assistance by Chandler Balcom, Malika Hollist, Adam Darbyshire, and Alranza Romero. I'm Warren Buckles' host. Learn more about studio sessions and jazz at WUSF by visiting WUSFjazz.org. Copyright 2025 WUSF.